What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. So this video is going to be done kind of in two parts because I have mixed feelings about it. Carl Froch officially retires from the sport of boxing. He's been out since last year when he duplicated what he did in the first fight with George Groves by knocking him out, folding his leg into some type of yoga position. And as far as Carl Froch, huge fan. I've always liked Carl Froch. Man's man, real gritty type of fighter. He had some wins where people expected him to lose, i.e. Lucian Bute was making a lot of noise and he came and destroyed him. He has a good resume. People sleep on his resume. Pascal, Darrell, despite what you think happened in like the Darrell fight, he's been in there and stepped foot and at least challenged himself to fight the Andre Ward. So props on a great career, and I wish you the best. He will be joining the Sky Sports commentary crew and team. He's done it in the past for other fights where he kind of calls the fights like Paulie Malignaggi and Roy Jones Jr. So I wish him much success and hope he gets to enjoy this time off, additional time off with his family and whatnot. Now, the part B, and I just don't want to do a separate video, so I'm going to do it all in one. The mixed feeling I have is I don't like how he went out, if that makes sense. I don't like how he went out. Like, you set the record straight. You had a sold out 80,000 people at Wembley. You look good in the fight. You proved to the doubters who said George Groves was going to knock you out this time because he knocked you down in the first time. He was looking real good winning that fight before the controversial stoppage. And you said you were thinking about retirement and you're happy to walk away, but you wanted a Chavez Jr. fight. And it looked like they were negotiating for that fight. And an unfortunate elbow injury is what took him out of the running. And then Chavez Jr., as we know, came back. He was with Al Heyman, fought Fonfara, which turned out to be a mistake because he moved up too much in weight, and he went in against a skilled guy and a veteran like Fonfara, ended up quitting on the stool, getting stopped. Therefore, the Chavez Jr. fight was not lucrative anymore. But he was going to come back for that fight, and the injury is really ultimately what prevented the Chavez Jr. fight. Now, fast forward to the more recent times, Carl Froch was getting into this like Twitter war with Tom Loeffler and calling out Triple G, and he's saying he's too big and too strong. I covered the whole thing, so you can check my channel for those videos. And that's all fine and dandy, and it was in good like sportsmanship or good fun, good competition, good competitive edge or whatever you want to call it. And I had no problem with that. But to turn your back on the game and walk away in the midst of that, it just felt like a ruse. Like, why did you even do that? Like, I was really pumped for Triple G versus Froch because I keep telling people, and I'm going to do a separate video, I can't move Triple G up to the next echelon. He could beat Journeyman if you're a B class fighter, if you're a C class fighter or below. If you're an undersized guy moving up, I mean, you're probably not going to beat him. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel. So to me, I have to see Triple G tested with somebody who's on the up and up. Like, what I mean by that is, if you look at Mayweather, when he fought Canelo was off of probably one of the biggest wins of his career, beating Austin Trout. He had a sold-out crowd, so, you know what I mean, he was a fan favorite. He had a lot of crowd support with Mayweather, with Trout. He was a rising star with names on his resume, even though some of them were kind of past it, like Shane Mosley, Cintron, and Baldomir. He still had those names on his resume. He's bigger than Floyd Mayweather. He was undefeated. He's a good inside fighter and combination puncher, and Mayweather fought him. I have yet to see Triple G, the monster, fight that type of competition, a guy with that type of momentum. You know what I mean? And I agree that some people don't seem like they're in a rush to fight Triple G. So that's why I was really looking forward to a fight with Carl Froch and Triple G, because I was like, oh, Froch is a warrior, and this will be a great test. So I really don't like how Froch, he kind of entertained this Twitter beef, and he knew, I just feel like, come on, you know if you're going to retire or not, or if you have real intentions of fighting the person. And even if you were thinking about retiring, if you're going to say I'm too big and too strong and post pictures of you flexing, looking buff and stuff, I really feel like if that's the case, then maybe you should postpone your retirement, handle business, fight him, make some good money in that particular fight, because I know the fight will sell, and then retire. But he's just kind of retiring, so now it almost creates an asterisk. Not, I mean, not over his career, because I'm not going to do that to the man. He has a great resume, but I'm just saying now people are going to easily think you didn't want that. You know what I'm saying? You didn't want those Triple G problems. Now, I've already made videos about Ward at a catch weight, and I think that's nonsense. This whole A side, I'll do future videos on that. But I agree, some people are ducking Triple G, and I've always said that. But now it's getting to the point for me, I can't move Triple G up. Ducking and being ducked, Triple G's not the first fighter that has been ducked in the history of the sport. So maybe he should fight one of the Andre Wards or Edeslani Lara. I know some people are like, oh, he beats Lara easy and stuff like that. But it's getting to a point of who is Triple G going to fight that means something. Because I'm telling you guys, I don't want to see Triple G versus Sebastian Hyland, a guy who's been stopped before, a guy with losses, a guy that nobody knows. And a lot of the other star players in the division, they're doing their own thing, and Triple G's kind of left out in the cold, period. Cotto is most likely facing Canelo. Then you have David Lemieux, who's most likely waiting for the winner of a mandatory fight, the mandatory eliminator between Toriano Johnson and O'Kane. So I don't really think Oscar De La Hoya is in a rush to put Canelo or David Lemieux in there with Triple G. And David Lemieux's a rising star, so I think he's going to extend it as long as he can and build up the Triple G fight and then make the fight maybe if Lemieux keeps winning later on, maybe 2016. So again, the list is getting shorter and shorter. Some people, and this is the thing, I know my boxing. I stay in touch with what's going on, and I keep you guys updated. So I know what's going on. A lot of people have these fantasy matches. Why doesn't he just fight Andy Lee? But they don't know what's going on. Andy Lee has a fight coming up versus Saunders. So that's another person. Yeah, Peter Quillen, who's been fighting on PBC, and with Al Heyman. Triple G has been fighting on HBO, so I don't really know how that would work. Plus, it doesn't look like Peter Quillen's in a rush to fight him. I haven't heard him really even talk about fighting, let alone fighting Triple G, in quite some time. I haven't really seen anything from him other than PBC and a couple cameos at fights and stuff. So I don't think he's interested in the fight. Chavez Jr. has his own business. He's fighting this month with Reyes, with a new trainer. So who's Triple G going to fight? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what Mayweather's doing. I don't know if he wants to fight Triple G. I don't know if he's going to fight somebody in his own division. I really don't know. So it's disappointing nonetheless for Carl Froch just kind of going out like that. And again, I'm not going to tell a man when he can retire. You know what I mean? It's not my position or my job to do that. However, why engage? It's kind of like what Dan Rayfield was saying. I mean, why engage in those types of conversation and in those ego fighting words if you have no intentions of fighting because you know you're going to retire? You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense to get all rah-rah. It's like, reminds me of in high school when two people would be about to fight, and when the teacher or the principal or something comes to break it up, then they get all rah-rah. That's kind of the same demeanor for me, but it's just a little bit different, where Carl Froch was doing the rah-rah, and then he just peaced out, and now he's retiring. So, if anything, it's a sign of how much I like and respect Carl Froch, and I feel like he has more fights in him and he can keep up. So I'm kind of disappointed in that. And again, I just feel like, why open those can of worms if you're not planning on even fighting Triple G? But let me know what you guys think of Carl Froch, who is retiring officially from the sport of boxing as a fighter. Drop me a comment. Make sure you like my video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next videos, Ego signing off.